Without a tourism recovery, the recovery of the entire county economically won't be near as robust as it could be.
Welcome to Marketing Conversations with Lamp House Films, a show where we pick the brains of today's marketing thought leaders. Today, I'm going to be talking to Joel from Discover Lancaster. Discover is in charge of marketing Lancaster as a tourism destination to the rest of the world. In our conversation, we talk about why the rest of us in marketing should pay attention to tourism in our own small towns, and also what it's like to navigate marketing in an industry that is changing so fast right now.
It kind of reminds me of Apollo 13 when the whole side of the thing blew off and they had to learn how to fly all over again with this elephant, climbing all over their back. Because that's probably what it's been for a lot of industries. Just so much information, so much of an unknown, and trying to guide your own organization as well as the industry that you're working for to help them as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, every industry has been impacted by this in some way, but I feel like tourism is probably one who's feeling this most significantly right now.
Yeah, we definitely, first off, it's a discretionary purchase. And secondly, it really is in so many instances about people to people experiences. So we have definitely, been one of the hardest hit industries, not only in Lancaster County, but across the country. By that kind of, impact, it's easily, thousands of jobs right now lost in the industry in the county and hundreds of millions in sales that likely, even if we manage to bounce back and get some decent numbers later in the summer and into the fall, you're not going to make that time back up. So it's going to put a serious dent in the industry's economic impact.
And I feel like you guys being hit sort of hits the rest of us in a different way. We've been working with you guys for a while, so I'm pretty familiarized with the idea of tourism isn't just about tourism. Tourism impacts everyone.
It's a big part of who Lancaster County is. It's a lot of how we're known around the country and around the world. But it does have a daily impact for so many people here as well. And without a tourism recovery, the recovery of the entire county economically won't be near as robust as it could be.
I feel like if there's a silver lining as far as tourism is concerned. So I obviously love film and I love going to the theater. And there are industries like that I look at and I think, I'm not sure if this is going to come back the same way ever. It was a struggling industry. It's a bunch of people in a room. That is scary to me. But the great news about tourism is people are always going to want to go somewhere. And I feel like if anything, us all being trapped in our houses is just makes us want to go somewhere even more. Tourism, I feel like has an inevitable next chapter. And so what are you guys doing to sort of forecast oh wow, our marketing needs to be different coming out of this?
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say first to echo your sentiments, tourism has and always will be resilient. People in the end do love to experience other places and explore and to be a part of things that they've never seen or done before. So we feel confident that things will steadily rebuild. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some adjusting, and ultimately, we'll get back to tourism being as strong, if not stronger, as ever. Right now, through the beginnings, probably from middle third week of March through now, we've been doing what we call top of mind marketing, really to remind people of how much they love Lancaster County and all the things that are to do and see and do here. So that we sort of stay in touch with them, and as they get opportunities to start to travel a little bit more, to think about us and to have Lancaster, really there on their radar, and say, that'd be a great place to go this year. And as we then evolve, we will be turning to a come visit us marketing that will admittedly in its initial phases emphasize more on the outdoor spaces. And fortunately, we have a lot of different variety of those types, not only within the countryside and smaller town settings, but also within Lancaster City. There's a variety of outdoor things that folks can do. So that will be our initial phase, while there'll be some unstated indoor visuals within the marketing. It'll primarily be an emphasis on outdoor and people being able to spread out and have some space. But we're looking to sort of structure the marketing digitally and TV in such a way that it can be sort of easily switched in and out. And as we go through into the summer and then certainly into the fall, be able to incorporate a little bit more of an indoor message as things hopefully progress. So we'll be nimble in sort of changing those things out as we go through and really try to make the marketing dollars that we have work, twice as powerful for the industry here during this reemergence time.
Yeah, I feel like that being nimble is so key right now, just because it's so hard to predict 6 months from now what message is going to feel appropriate, and then 6 months from then what message is going to feel appropriate. That's the one thing that I have been spending a lot of time thinking about, is like, how long does it take to get back to a normal, or is there even a normal coming, or is it just going to be this, like, how much will tourism, the climate of tourism, just be forever changed by this? And will your messaging, is tourism as an industry going to look completely different 2 years from now than it did?
I'm hopeful in regard, again, taking that longer view, that we will. But in the meantime, we're probably going to learn some really interesting customer service and experience lessons that under circumstances we wouldn't necessarily have experimented with, but we find that it's actually beneficial, or it's a neat new kind of way to do something. And we'll incorporate those as well. They might be the leading edge for the next 6, 8, 10 months. But as we, hopefully progress to more of what we've known in the past, may keep some of those, and there'll be additional ways to travel, to experience, to interact with people, to really share in what a destination has to offer. That I'm hopeful that it'll end up being, rather than you had two things and you brought two things in place of, that when you get back to it, you've got the two plus an additional two, and that it turns out to be an even broader experience afterwards. That's my ultimate hope.
Yeah, I feel like companies that are keen to listen right now are going to learn a lot about their customer base during this time and what they value, not what they value right now, but what they've always valued in ways that you just never would have investigated before.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think these are times that are very conducive to people really, taking some time to really listen to their heart and what in the end matters to them. And I think tourism has a number of those aspects, because those ultimately are the memories that are made with family, with friends, with people that you never knew before, who turn out to be really great, people. And, bringing people back to, it's more about the life you've lived and the things that you've had a chance to experience, as opposed to the material stuff that you collected. And I think tourism is right in line with that.
Thanks for watching another episode of Marketing Conversations with Lamp House Films. My biggest takeaway from this conversation is that we all need to be willing to listen to what our customers are and aren't comfortable with right now, and be willing to pivot accordingly. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click subscribe. And if you really enjoyed it, check out the link in our description to our newsletter. We post bonus content there all the time. Lamp House is a production company that focuses on film-centered marketing campaigns. If you want to chat with us about your next campaign, we would love to hear from you. You can reach me. I'm josh@lamphousefilms.com. Make sure you tune in next week for my conversation with Katy Perry from Public. See you then.